Hello and welcome to the channel. Tonight we are working on finishing up the welding on one of the side skirts. We got the driver's side skirt all tacked up last night, got the doors cut out and all that, hinges mounted. So all I am doing now is just finishing all the tack welds up and making sure everything gets welded nice and tight. So after I get this one welded up, we will be putting the skin on and the doors in the other side. That one has 4 doors, this one only had 3 because it has the air conditioning coolers in it. I will take you guys along and I'll show you guys what I'm doing and kind of how we designed the doors. And yeah, there's a million ways to do it, and this is how we chose to do it. So here is the side skirt. The bottom side is on your left, and we put a 1/4 inch lip on the bottom side so I can put a weld bead along there without anybody seeing it. It also steepens the angle or makes it more shallow that you have to be. Makes you have to be closer to the ground to actually see the underside of the side skirt. And this metal will slide up and underneath. So yeah, this will slide right up underneath that tin on the bus, and we will just rivet it into place and then weld the actual frame in. Our doors, we made a frame about 1.25 inch bent angle iron and welded our bullet hinges on here. We'll have a door, like a service truck style door latch that will go right over there. This one's just tacked in, and we got it squared, made sure it all fit, and I'll pull this one apart and weld it up good. I did prime the whole thing, all the actual framing members. Primed everything before we did the side skirts. That way I have primed metal. I primed both the actual framing and the back side of our skirt panels. That way it prevents some rust from happening and try to control it. This is one that I have halfway done, so I have all my welds in here. I just have to grind them down and smooth them out. So I'm just using that weld on the very lip of the frame there. That should be enough to hold it along the inside there. I do have to do a little bit of welding on the back side, but I have to make sure I don't hit any of the floor panels when we go to put it up, so I have to measure it out and tack it strategically so I don't run into clearance issues later on. But yeah, this is one that's halfway done, and this one is completed, so it is sitting in here how it's going to be. We have to put our weather stripping. The weather stripping will go on this inner rail, so the door will close tight against that and seal. And any rain that gets in from the top here has to go around and down the side of the channel, and then I'll have weep holes drilled in the bottom side of the channel to let any water out. So it's a fairly simple method of sealing a door, but it should be effective. But yeah, this one I welded up all the corners nice. Actually ground out the tacks that we had on the front side. It was just easier to tack it from the front and then grind them down. And then yeah, I welded it solid from the other side for the door, and then just ground off my welds here on the outside of the doorway. So these doors will sit slightly proud of the side skirt of the bus. I have to put a like a coupling nut or union nut. I have to weld one on the inside of the frame right there on each of the doors. Then I'll put a bolt in there and get my spacing correct so that yeah, everything sits flush and nice. These hinges are super nice. You just weld them on and they're greasable, serviceable to an extent. So Yeah, well worth it versus like a piano hinge style. So here are the welds that I put on the inside. So it's just tacked in. The inner or the outer ridge on this door will sit inside this channel, and then with the or the sealing gasket on the sealing gasket on this edge here should be a nice watertight seal. Here I have all those tacks in place and ready to just letting it cool, and I'll flip it over, and I have to weld the hinges yet on this panel, and this one will be good to go. But yeah, we still have one whole panel to go, so we're not quite done yet, but it'd be nice to get these done and get them hung back up on the bus, and that will allow us to really start putting the framing of the underbay up permanently after I get it insulated. So it's exciting to see progress. But these doors are way more work than I had initially planned. I'd actually hoped to have a local colony do the doors for me, but they were I came in with a quote of about $200 a door, so it wasn't quite feasible. I'll rather spend a week or two doing the doors than spend that. So yeah, it's coming along really nice. I will set up a time lapse and let you guys watch me work. So here's an update on the side skirt panels. I have the driver's side painted on the front or the back side of the panel. I have it painted black. I've also mounted my insulated inner walls where it was convenient. I still have to do this wall and that wall, but I'll do those while the bus, or when it's mounted on the bus. So I have to flip this one over and stand it upright again. I'll use the forklift for that, and then I just have to paint the inner doors for the door frames. I'll paint those black, and then that will be ready. The passenger side, I have all of the frames tack welded. We haven't made the doors for this yet, but I can do that when it's mounted up. If I have them tack welded, I still have to grind them all down and smooth, and then I have to flip this over, and I'll do what I did with the other one. I will first weld up the actual sheet metal, get it all nice and stout, and paint it black. But I'm hoping to get this one really close to mounting today, if not mounted. I still have to pull out the emergency exit door and do some metal work there, but it's going to be my focus today to get this shop space cleared up for him again. So I'll get this flipped over and get it painted, and we'll go from there.